What's up, gang? I have a Defender board here today to work on. This one came out of a pile of boards in the warehouse that was just marked 4 parts, not working. They all were. Unfortunately, most of them had chips removed by a spoon. Almost all of them had that. As far as the Defender, and I got one Defender and 2 Stargates and a couple other boards. But in this video, we're just going to take a look at this. I replaced the chip that was removed with the spoon and kind of tried to fix the traces as good as possible. I did check my work and it's good. But this board, all 4 LED lights here for the diagnostics light up. It is getting power. Our voltage is good to the RAM chips and the ROM, and we're getting no video on the screen. So stick around and we'll see if we can fix it. I guess I just got confused. We're in the exact right spot, but I think it's where we get stuck at. But here's the voltage for the ROMs. It's this corner and this corner here. If I can get it on the right ones. Or did I only find it at one? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, it was these 2, that's right. It's the 2 on the butt. Come on. Not having any luck holding it on these pins. Nothing. Oh, did I not turn it? I didn't turn this on. There we go. I guess that helps. Dude. But I didn't turn this on the right thing either. Am I crazy or what here? I could have swore it was those 2. I just did this a second ago. It ain't that, that's for sure. Okay, there it is. I was right, it's the corners here. Maybe I'm just missing it, I can't see that far. Yeah, there we go, 508. What's your problem, dude? 508. Okay. I'm just bad aim. All right. So let's get back to probing. Our next spot to check is vertical count buffer. Let's see. So we're going to check 5P, and pin 6 needs to be pulsing. So P is going to be, let's see, NOP 5P. It's this guy here. Okay, so I already checked this one, and I put a chip over it, but I can still get to the leg so that we can check it. And it is stuck on. So what it says in here is to piggyback a chip. Well, it says to lift that leg out of the solder and then test it while it's isolated. But what I did was I put a piggyback chip on it and then lifted the leg so that we can test it like that. And if the leg pulses when it's isolated, then the decoder ROM is bad. 3, yeah, it would be that one there. And if it doesn't, then this chip is bad. But you would think since I piggybacked it, that wouldn't happen. But let's see. We're still stuck. And we really need to finish and solve that problem before we start checking other circuits, because this probably feeds something else. Well, yeah, definitely it's a count buffer, so that's going to cause problems. So let me go ahead and pull this out, and I'm going to go ahead and switch that chip, and we'll just do it and get it over with and move on to the next circuit. So a good board will flash all 4 LEDs for just a second and then go out, and then you know it's booting. If you have 1 and 4 light up, it's a RAM fail. No lights, it's a ROM fail. And all 4, you're screwed. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on now. We can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna check our voltages. So we have 4 lights that stay on. And I have a voltmeter sitting here, like I said. But let's go ahead and check the voltages at the RAM. .03. Let's see if I can do this. 5.04. That's good. Check these RAM or these ROMs. Come on. Is that right? And 1 and 12, I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have my leads flipped around wrong. But it's showing like 3 volts. That's can't be right. Let's see if maybe I just have it wrong. I think pin 12 is ground. Let's see if we're getting it out of the connector. 5.12. Here's the notch. Yeah, it's not getting good voltage there, that's for sure. I felt something warm over here. Those probably wouldn't be worms, they're not getting voltage. But that's a problem. Let's see. Okay. I'll look that up in a second. But I have everything disconnected except for we have power there, power here, and we have video there. And I don't have the monitor hooked up because we don't have anything going on anyway, so really no point. But let's start on the CPU, and it's going to be pin 37. It should be, we're going to put the probe on there and then hit the reset button, and it should drop to pulse low for 1 second or so and then go back. If it's stuck high or low, you're supposed to check the reset circuit, and if it doesn't drop to low, just stays high, then it's going to be the watchdog circuit. So check that in a second. Let's see what this says. Alright, pulsing. Oh, is that me dropping it off of there? Okay, that part works good. So it says there you can skip to the next step, or it wants you to test the the reset circuit and the watchdog. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I did it earlier because I wasn't sure, you know, what I was supposed to have there. I just knew I was going to check it there. And I had an issue, and I just want to check it again and see if there still is a problem. So to test the reset, it's J7, pin 9 and 13. J7 is going to be here. This board is different than the schematics and the other boards I've worked with. They're little itty bitty partitions. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And that's definitely 7 down. This is our deepest one. So pin 9 and 13. Okay, it's not pulsing, it's just high. It did go low. Let's check 13. Okay, I'd say that's probably good. Let's try the watchdog is 5M, pin 13. Check that CPU, it's okay. 5M or M5. Let's see. M is here, 5 is here, pin 13. And that one's pulsing. Does go low and high. So I wonder if there's something wrong with this one. I thought I tested that though. I'm pretty sure I did. It's not pulsing, but it does go high and low. Okay. The next thing is the clock generator circuit. It's R6, pins 6, 8, and 9. These should just be pulsing. So it's this one here. I tried to mark these ahead of time when I knew. Okay, it is pulsing, it just doesn't make a noise. The same there, pulsing, no noise. Okay, same thing, pulsing, no noise. I wonder why it's not making noise. That's odd. Okay, and then J7, pin 5. So we're already there. Pin 5 is the one before this one. Okay, well, I'd say it's some kind of pulse. L7, pin 9. It's this guy. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That one's pulsing. So everything's going a lot better than it was last time. I guess this one pin that was sticking out on that J7 there really was kind of throwing things off. I didn't find that until later on. Okay. If there's any issues at this point, it wants you to replace 6809, which is a CPU, and then if that doesn't fix your problems, then one at a time replace the decoder ROMs. So I don't know if that means necessarily that we're 100% good on those parts, but we can move on without replacing those, so that's a good sign though. Now let me take a break here because there's a couple parts that got skipped that I want to check first before we go to this circuit. I'm gonna be right back. So this is the ROM board. I always find this confusing. Well, I did in the beginning when I first started looking at a Defender board. It's missing a ROM, so I always think, okay, somebody stole one out of there. And then I find 2 ROM boards and they're both missing that same chip, and I'm like, weird. That chip must go bad a lot. And then I start looking at the order and they're out of order, and then every ROM board, this happened when I pulled, I think, 3 or 4 ROM boards out of the warehouse. Every one of the positions was different. Some of them were Stargate and some of them were Defender, but I think even the 3 Stargates that I had were all in different positions. But this is correct for Defender. So it's going to be I'll make sure I'm telling you right. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no 5, 6, and then it goes 10, 11, 12, 7, 8, 9. And that's the appropriate way, I'm pretty sure. And I would show you the Stargate just for reference, but I don't want to cause any confusion, so we'll stick with that. The other thing is I'm not sure if this is, I think this is the Stargate, and I'm not sure if that matters. I don't know if I have one of these for Defender, but if we can get the game working, all that stuff is in the cabinet at work. So apparently these sockets go bad a lot. Everybody was saying in the forums, and I watch Sean's channel. He's really good at fixing boards. Easy to watch too. He always changes out all the sockets whenever he does a Williams board. And I really haven't had that many problems with sockets at all in any boards. A few times here and there, but usually it's when people have been changing chips a lot. So like I would expect it in these RAM. I've already gone through and looked at that, and I do believe these are new RAM. Not 100% sure, but I didn't use them on anything else. But they're old. So if we end up having problems down the line, I have sockets. We can change sockets out. It's not a big deal. But we're going to try to go with as little work as possible because there's so many boards to do. But I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. I need to hook up my probe, and then we can go ahead and get started. Get my notes ready. So as I was saying, this is a warehouse board. It was, it's had a rough life after it was pulled from a game. So it's pretty much unknown. What we do know is the typical things with the Williams games. And this is a Defender. I'm not sure, like I said, if it's an early or a late stage. It does have the 4 LEDs for the ROM board instead of the little numerical display. But if you're working on a board and you're watching this video and you have a numerical display, this will still help. So we're pretty much just going to focus on this board here. There's the main problems that you're going to have with these is going to be power. I just went ahead, and we're actually in the back of the Stargate right now. Pulled this off of the back door and put it on a piece of wood, and then I worked on the Stargate for a little while, and then I put the Defender on here because it works, and I need to get it done first. All of these boards were damaged, like I was saying. They've had chips dug out with a spoon. But your main problem is going to be power and these RAM and power to these RAM. So I just have the switcher hooked up here. I got a little voltmeter so that I can keep an eye on it, so I know that it's no major spikes or anything. I'm not sure how old that is. I think it's new, but I don't know. These are for 116 RAM, and so they take 5 volt, 12 volt, and negative 5 volts. So they need 3 voltages to run. You can upgrade this to 4164s. And if you've looked into this at all, everybody's going to tell you to do that. They just run off 5 volts, so it's just so much easier. But I'm not going to go through all the trouble when I don't know anything about this board to try to convert it. I'm just going to try to get it working. Got the switching power supply. I know we'll have good enough power to test it and see what's going on with it. Another problem is ribbon cables. These are kind of like the newer style here. Personally, I find they're kind of junky. They don't last that long. As long as you're not taking your boards in and out a whole lot. Like if you put them on there and you just put your boards on one time and you don't mess with it anymore, they're going to be fine. But if you're having to test like I'm doing right now, they probably won't last very long. These white ones, I think, may be original. Also, those I haven't had much luck with. These here with the black connector, this one looks real dirty and old, but the black ones I have much better luck with. Personally, I mean, everybody has their own stories, so don't listen to me for everything. But I went ahead and I put new headers on for the power here and the power here, and repinned the the housings, and so that we have all new power connections there. And on the Stargate board, I put a new ribbon cable on, and it didn't help. Like I said, I don't trust this one, but what I did was I checked continuity ahead of time, and we have continuity going all the way through there, so I'm pretty sure that that's okay. I did put a new CPU in already. It's a 6809. Well, I was testing it before the video just so I can see if we even would have a video. The CPU got super hot, and the RAM were starting to warm up, but I expected that a little bit. This row here seemed like maybe it was hotter, but I went over it, found a leg was out of socket over here. What else did I find? I did fix the traces underneath that chip. I don't know if that was messing with it at all, but it's not heating up now. I did jumper a couple chips where I had a piggyback going on, so I do want to watch that when we first start and make sure it doesn't cook that, as it's a brand new 6809. But let's go ahead and get set up. I'm gonna go as far as I can in this with the logic probe and try to fix any problems we find until either I run into a decoder ROM problem. If those are not good, then we're going to be stuck because I don't have any replacements. You can burn replacements, but I don't have any blank chips, and I do not have my eraser here. I did verify the ROMs, and they were all good except for 10, which I marked. I think that's 10. Yeah, that one's 10. That's another thing we can go over. I'll pull that off in just a second. So all the ROMs were good except for 10, and I'll burn one as soon as I get my eraser, find it, or I go get back to work. I don't know, borrow one off somebody. But I'm gonna get as far as on this as we can in this actual part, which we might get all the way through the CPU board. I'm not sure if we're gonna have any problems or not. I did run into one of these chips over here was bad, and I piggybacked, and it was iffy. So that when we get to there, I'm going to actually replace the chip. But we're going to go each circuit by circuit and then fix all the problems before we try to move on. Because if you don't fix the problems in that circuit, it affects the next circuit, and they're looking for readings from that one so that this works and then the next one works. And so you just end up you don't really know if anything's working or not if you don't fix the problems as you're finding them. But we're going to go all the way through everything. Even if the board gets fixed, I'm going to continue to go through just to show the process and document it for myself. I try to find this kind of thing. Nobody has an all the way through. There's a couple guys that have really good videos, but I basically went through and made my own repair guide. I found one that was really good on Stargate, and there was one that was pretty good. It's the same thing. It's like a theory of operation, but I went in a little bit more in depth. I wanted to know why I was probing certain pins, not just okay, I'll check this. I needed to know kind of what was going on, because if those pins don't check out the way we're expecting them to, we need to find the problem and fix it. So just testing them isn't going to help much more than just knowing something's awry. But we know the board doesn't work, so something's awry. But let me get set up, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And we'll start with the CPU and the reset circuit. I got it marked. Sorry, the air kicked on, so we got fan blowing a little bit. All right, so I replaced this guy here and this guy here. This is the one that's putting out the signal that we need, or should be putting out the next signal that we need. And it was pin 6. It was supposed to be pulsing, and it wasn't. And so it told us to lift the leg and try again. And that would tell us if it was this chip that was bad or the decoder chip. And it turned out to be that chip. So I replaced those two, and I've already tried this again, and it looks like our decoder is bad, but yeah, we're not pulsing. and when I lift the leg, it says this chip is good and that chip is bad. That's why I went ahead and replaced that guy too, and that didn't help. So I don't have a decoder ROM, so we are stuck, because if we keep going, we can't trust our results, basically, because one of our signals in one of our circuits is bad, and we know it. So we'll have to stop here on this one. I do think that everything seems to be working. It just seems to be a little off once we hit there. I have another Stargate board that's just about ready. There was a couple chips that were dug out on it that I have a socket in somehow. I was able to get the traces. What they did was they unsoldered it from the bottom horribly, and then they just ripped the chip up, and the chips were still making contact with the board at the top, so it ripped all the traces off the top, and they just ripped them off. So there was no traces. Had to basically just rebuild these whole sections right here. It's pretty rough. But this will be the end of part one for this guy. Yes, we got these. I wish I could pull up the circuit, but I used that phone that I'm filming with to pull it up, and I didn't draw one. But I changed enough to know that that's going to be the problem, and we're effed. I ordered an eraser, but I think I sent it to work instead of here, so I'll be able to burn a ROM, but I'll probably end up ordering one. I think they're like 15 bucks. It's not a programmable chip, so screwed on that aspect. I don't have any blank ones anyway to burn one. I would have to use a chip, and since I can't program that one, I'm stuck. But if the Stargate gets going, then there's like three Stargate boards, and I got 3 sets of ROMs. I know I have 1 full set of working ROMs, and we also have to finish up Tapper, so probably get started on Tapper next. The ribbon cables is all I'm waiting on, and that should be here tomorrow, and so probably wrap this up and get that one started. But we'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. Just want to show you guys real quick, we do have something on the screen, so we are making progress. It's just slow going. These 2 right here are going to be ground and 5 volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it too.
Super hang on. Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.